Hey, how's it going, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to go over the Q&A that Nikita did based off questions taken from like probably Reddit, Twitter. We're going to see what Nikita was saying. There's some interesting stuff on here. So if you guys haven't read this Q&A yet, you should stay tuned because it might answer some questions that you guys have about the current development with Escape from Tarkov. So lads, before we get into it, please make sure to leave a like, leave a comment. Please leave a comment. It actually pushes the videos very, very hard, which is odd. I thought likes would have done that, but apparently comments. So that'd be really cool if you guys could leave a comment. Just leave a comment saying toast. I don't care. Whatever you guys want. Let's game the YouTube algorithm, okay? The first question that we have here is, over the past few years, we have seen some maps getting reworked or getting expansions. Woods and Lighthouse receive new points of interest. Some of the older maps have one point of interest as of now. Resort for Shoreline, D2 for Reserve. Point of interest, yeah. Is the future rework or expansion of maps planned? And maybe can you give us some insight as to what we can expect? So Nikita replied with, most likely in the future there will be some expansions for sure, but right now all the level design and environment artists are focused on Streets of Tarkov. This is the main thing right now. We don't have anything planned for expansions in the nearest future, but they will definitely be added to the game later. So there you have it, straight from the horse's mouth, as the saying goes. Also, lads, from what I know from reliable sources, apparently Interchange is getting a little bit of a rework as far as I think the lighting of it goes, and a few little updates to it. So that is something they're working on the side. Now, I don't know if that has been changed since this Q&A has been, released, but I've got my fingers and toes crossed that next time we get a wipe, it comes with a little bit of love for Interchange, because I know we all want to see that map come back to its former glory. How does the balancing of the game work right now? For example, we have seen M80 being moved past Peacekeeper level 3 at the start of the wipe. Can we expect more dynamic changes to weapons, ammo, and other gear in the future? Nikita replies with, yes, of course. As I said several times, in the future, especially after or upon release, there will be a rework to everything. We constantly rebalance things every major patch. So yes, there will definitely be more changes, more rebalancing and everything. So this shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. Every single time there's a major wipe or patch in Tarkov, things get shuffled around on the traders, different things get locked behind different quests. Maybe there's higher level requirements for certain things. But what I'm hoping to see in the future is maybe a more dynamic way that we as individuals can work towards unlocking these things without making it a pain in the ass and having to get to X level. Maybe you can focus on a certain thing and unlock it in the early game if you really want to go for it, but we'll just have to see how that goes. In previous wipes, we have seen new types of in-game events where traders are completely locked and players had to achieve a shared goal in order to unlock them. What was the most important lesson you learned from those events? So Nikita said, first of all, the statistics. We actually gathered a lot of information and data for future events like that one. And I think the next events like this will be more balanced and interesting. So the first thing for us is we gather statistics, and we did a lot of changes for the future plans related to these types of events. So as we've heard before, lads, I'm pretty sure when Streets of Tarkov comes out, that map is going to have its own sets of like dynamic events and stuff. So this is more than likely why they were doing all these tests before and doing these events, so they can gather data on what people like, what they don't like, what got done, what didn't get done, and how we as a community can work together to get something finished will probably determine how hard or easy something is going to be to get done in Streets of Tarkov, assuming that there is something that is a community related goal in order to unlock something on Streets of Tarkov. Now, when Streets comes out, there will obviously be a big community push to explore everything and learn everything and find all the secrets and stuff like that. So that is always the most fun part when new maps come out. Some of you might even remember when the Interchange rework came out, how we figured out what the switches do and where the other secret containers were and what keys we needed and stuff like that. So Streets of Tarkov is probably going to be a very, very big Easter egg hunt for the first couple of weeks that it comes out. So that's very exciting. It'll be very fun. And I recommend that all of you play next wipe, because if Streets does come out next wipe, you'll want to be a part of that, because it is probably one of the most fun times that you can play Tarkov when a new map comes out. Nobody knows it and everybody's learning. All right, what is the current status of customizable armor hitbox systems? Can you share some details on how it will work in game? Will players who choose extra protection be punished with movement reduction and weight increase? And how easily the possibility to modify armor hitboxes will be? So Nikita says the feature is frozen for now. When we first started working on this feature, there were a lot of people assigned to it, but we decided to move a big part of them to make more important stuff. This happens a lot in game development, so it's not surprising that this has happened. We decided to add a simplified version of this feature by adding armor zones, so each body armor will have a front, rear, side slot to insert armor plates. This will be easy to use. Regarding the customizable rigs feature, it'll be pretty easy to do because there will be presets and everything, so it will not be hard to make your own configuration of your rig. Of course, there will be several types of parameters for gear, adding different debuffs. For example, if you have a heavyweight rig, it'll drain your mobility. So you won't be able to make a Juggernaut type body armor without any punishment. And again, the full feature will be available with or after the release, the full release of the game, that is. But before that, we will add custom armor zones, which will introduce a more realistic approach to body armor and hitboxes. Very cool. Next question. One of the most frequently asked questions in the process of development of Streets of Tarkov: is there a plan to share a roadmap of the projects BSG is working on at the moment, like optimization of Lighthouse, Arena DLCs, etc.? So Nikita has replied with, we don't have an exact roadmap with the dates, at least publicly. We do on our own roadmap, but it's secret information. Right now, we are working on Streets of Tarkov, Arena, and a really big amount of technical stuff related to optimization and networking. It's also related to Streets of Tarkov and the future storyline quests. Anything related to this we are mostly focused on. The Arena is being worked on by a different team, so it's a separate process. Other than that, we're not doing anything new or groundbreaking right now. We're focusing on really big and complicated tasks. So obviously, Streets, quite a big feat for the devs to pull off. Arena apparently is being worked on by a different team. I myself, I'm very excited for Arena. I never actually used the ETS server before on Tarkov to test any early features. But when Arena comes to the ETS servers, I will definitely be trying it out because I am very curious to see how it's going to work and how it's going to play. And I guess most importantly, how it's going to feel, because the tick rates of those servers are going to be much higher than the standard Tarkov servers. So it's going to be a very, very different experience. So lads, if you have an ETS account, make sure that you give Arena a try because I think it's coming out next month. It's October right now. I'm pretty sure this video is going to be released in October. As far as I remember, I think they said it was going to be open for testing come November. So I guess keep an eye on BSG's Twitter for that. The co-op offline mode has been released with the last patch. What are your impressions of it? And is it planned to be developed further? So Nikita said, of course, just yesterday we discussed what we need to further implement into co-op offline mode. We will add a lot of different parameters. You will be able to really set up your raid. You'll see there'll be a lot of cool tweaks that will add different features into co-op mode. I personally love the co-op mode because it allows you to roleplay and create scenarios and record them, showcasing them on YouTube or streams. So it's really interesting to see different scenarios the players develop. It's really cool. So my own experience with offline co-op is it's awesome. I did one night where Nice Guy came into my chat and he said, hey, do you want to play a custom game against my community, your community versus mine? I said, yes, of course. That sounds awesome. And we did an attack and defend style game mode where one team had to defend an objective, one team had to attack. And we played that for a couple of hours and it was an absolute blast. So I'd love to see more stuff being added for offline co-op because it'll allow us as creators and, you know, people in the Tarkov community to do stuff that's fun on days that we just don't feel like playing the game or days that we're getting our shit pushed in by Tarkov. You guys know the feeling. It was mentioned earlier that BSG might release a mobile app for hideout and trader management in Escape from Tarkov. Do you have plans for it or have you decided to focus on other projects first? Wait, they talked about this? This is a thing? Nikita, yes, we do have plans. Oh shit, they do have plans for this. Cool. We've actually designed everything. We have all that's needed, assets like art, etc. We just need to actually start working on it. There's a high possibility that it'll be available upon release. Oh, that's really cool. So you're going to be able to use your hideout and trader management from the mobile app for EFT. That's actually super, super helpful. I actually really like that because, hey, you get off your PC. Oh, I forgot to turn my generator off. Oh, turn it on the app. Oh, I forgot to craft this before I got off. Do it from your phone. You don't have to go into your PC, boot it up. Maybe you've left the house already. Maybe you're at work and you just want to craft stuff while you're at work. Take 2 seconds, log in on your phone and just quickly do your stuff. That's awesome. I really like that. Next question. Has any consideration been given to introducing a creative mode or observer perspective in the offline mode for new players to master the game quicker? So Nikita said it's possible in the offline mode and also most likely in co-op too. There will be a player who will have the ability to spectate in a free look mode and record custom perspectives of a fight or a custom scenario. So yes, there will be an observer feature. Very cool. At the moment, some hideout features are introduced to slow down progression and don't have substantial roles to play. Can we expect some features to be reworked and become more viable for players? For example, security, protecting from scavs, breaching in, etc. So Nikita said, I don't know. Of course, we have a lot of ideas related to the hideout, and we actually have some new features for the hideout planned to come out soon. I cannot tell you which features exactly, but we need to see. So one feature I can tell you guys about is Nikita talked about a gym in your hideout on one of the previous podcasts. I don't remember if he mentioned other stuff, but he did mention the gym. Hideout is more of like a service thing, so interactions or some kind of action in it could not be right because the hideout is a symbol of your home. The idea to add more substantial things is pretty cool, but we don't know what to actually add. We need to think about it. So that's fair. keeping gameplay balance in mind, I guess. Some players think that the current AI is still a high level of difficulty, but with a single behavioral pattern. Will you consider increasing the intelligence of the AI or mimicking the player's behavior as much as possible, or are the next changes to the AI? Nikita said, this type of thing is still being developed and changed constantly. Of course, we want to create AI that will look and feel like real players. I cannot tell you the exact changes, but it's a big list of different fixes, changes in behavior, and everything. And the new bosses always add some new features to the AI in general. So all I can say is that the AI is constantly being worked on and reworked. AI is something that cannot be completed in, for example, 2 months. It will be constantly changing. I feel like even after release, we will still be making changes to make it feel more realistic and everything. So lads, if you guys have been around the EFT community for a long time, you guys will know that over the last 5-6 years, AI have changed damn near every 6 months. So this is just going to be something that's going to continue changing over the years. How do you feel about the fact that the game mode of Escape from Tarkov is being copied by game makers around the world as it becomes a global hit? Would you be concerned if a game was copied from Escape from Tarkov? And Nikita said, of course, we don't like direct copies of Escape from Tarkov. We don't like developers stealing our assets and everything. But in general, it's always a good thing when somebody is trying to make something better without any negative effects or statements. It's always a good thing for game development industry. It's a pleasure for us and we created something new. And it's okay if a game utilizes a mechanic from EFT, but if it's a direct copy or a ripoff, we don't like it or support it. This is it. Fair enough. Direct copy or a ripoff? I get it. You know, you guys wouldn't like that. But, you know, obviously other developers taking inspiration from Escape from Tarkov, you know, be it HUD Showdown or like Cycle or, you know, Marauders, all these new games that have come out. Well, not necessarily new games, but all these other games that have come out with, you know, a similar premise to be an extraction shooter, but also with their own unique twists and style, which is awesome. And personally, I love the extraction shooter genre. The more games that come out that have a similar premise to it, honestly, the better. And I would love to see more games like this, and hopefully more AAA developers start working on stuff like this. You know, maybe in a couple of years, we'll see some new awesome extraction shooter that will play alongside of Tarkov and all our other favorite extraction shooters. Next question. The most discussed question in the community is whether or not Escape from Tarkov is coming to Steam. Many players are waiting, so can you leak us when you plan on it coming to Steam, or what do you think it takes to launch on Steam? So Nikita says, not a problem to launch on Steam, and yes, we have talked about it pretty often. I think we will launch it on Steam after release, maybe after several months. That's the plan. So lads, the reason why Escape from Tarkov isn't on Steam, this is from what I understand, and I'm pretty sure that this is the case, but if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me. So the way Steam works now, back in the day, you used to be able to release a game on Steam in early access, and that game could stay in early access for as long as it wants. However, these days, there is actually, I think, a time limit on games, so you can't keep them perpetually in early access or in an incomplete state. So I think they're going to wait until Tarkov is actually completely finished and then release it on Steam, so they don't have to be pressured by Steam saying, hey, you better get this update out, otherwise, you know, we're going to pull you or whatever. So I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know. Next question. We cannot ignore the problem of cheaters when it comes to FPS games. Would it be possible to add some sort of reporting feedback mechanism, such as messages from NPCs, to inform us the progress of their reports in the game? What are the most powerful initiatives to renovate the cheaters? Nikita, yes, the feedback system will be added. You will be able to see if the player you reported got banned or not. For the second question, the in-game reports actually work. There aren't many initiatives planned because we have a lot of stuff related to busting cheaters, and it works pretty well because of all the stuff is linked to close work with BattlEye anti-cheat. So this creates a whole system of cheater busting and reporting. If it's about public initiatives, then I think the reports are the most useful thing in the game right now. Maybe we will add something more to that later, but right now it's working, and it all depends on every aspect of the system. Every module of the anti-cheat must work correctly. But lads, there you have it. That is the end of the Q&A with Nikita. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about these questions down below. Let me know what questions you would have asked Nikita. And lads, I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out, my dudes.